Okay, so as we said in the previous video, we just ended chapter 3, but of course, most importantly, chapter 3 isn't really over. After each chapter, we are going to have, homework if we kind of express this entire book as a course, or, example problems, but it's kind of homework at the end of each chapter. So now we're going to start the homework, and we'll talk about the homework right now. This is not a big deal. In fact, I think I showed this on a previous video because I outline the chapters before I do the videos. It's always kind of hard to manage this. But, we would never be able to interpret this that well. These are just chapter 3. This is my outline of chapter 3 right here. It's kind of column 1 over there. Yeah, but chapter 3, there was a lot, but the entire thing is basically a titled production function queue production choices. But of course, not the most professional notes. But this is my outline. This would be page 2. So diminishing marginal rate of substitution, we remember all of that. On to page 3. And page 4. So I literally outlined chapter 3 from beginning to end here. As soon as I outline this, I forget. So, as we all would, I just figured I'd kind of make a video. It's basically all the equations and concepts for chapter 3 in order. I have one of these for every chapter, so I've been through the entire book. Chapter 3 on the left, and then of course on page 5, I start on chapter 4, that comes next, but the very end of chapter 3 is on the left-hand side over here. And we remember we didn't go over that too well. It's just kind of a derivation. We went over that at the end of the last video, so there's that. Okay, so we've seen these before in a previous video. If we kind of look back at the videos, it's no worries. We have them here. We don't have to look back. But I kind of went through this. This is all the assignments for chapter 3, 4, and 5. So chapter 3 does have approximately 15 questions. We can just go ahead and jump right in right here. So number 1, the following figure describes the marginal cost and the average cost of firm alpha. Using this information, what can we say about alpha's economies and diseconomies of scale? So a lot of these things are just kind of a basic review, some of the basic concepts from the chapter. First of all, the answer is C. We will get there in a second, but we just quickly define this. Yeah. So remember, there's kind of two things that we can say. Yeah. If the average cost is greater than the marginal cost of Q, that's all we need. So the average cost is greater than the marginal cost. Where is that going to be true here? Average cost greater than marginal cost. Then we are demonstrating economies of scale. And of course, the other one will just be obviously the other one. Yeah. So this one is equally important. Notice here how the slope is negative and then maybe an instantaneous slope of 0, and then the slope becomes positive, correct? So we have that basic concept right here at that point, right there, where AC equals MC, yeah, and the slope is 0. We don't have either. We don't have economies of scale or diseconomies of scale. Yeah, so it's basically over here we have economies of scale. Over here we have D of scale. But I just want to show that basic thing. The more we write, the more confusing. This statement is correct, but also if we take the derivative, yeah, of AC with respect to Q, yeah. So if that's less than 0, then we have economies of scale. The slope is negative, therefore we have economies of scale. And then over here, the other one is also true. If the derivative, which is the slope, is greater than 0, then diseconomy. It's very, very easy, all of this, but I just tend to say the vocabulary wrong. Yeah, diseconomies of scale, that is what it is. Okay, so we can kind of quick write that. AC of Q, it is the opposite, is less than MC of Q. It's going to be this one right here. Or it's always true if the derivative with respect to Q of AC is greater than 0, then we have diseconomies of scale. Yeah, so we can just kind of burn that into our retinas there. If we check on that, it's just a basic characteristic. The answer is C. Alpha has economies of scale at Q1 and diseconomies of scale at Q2. Okay, so number 2 is basically the exact same concept we just plug in. So firm kappa is a price taker. Remember all the little things. Price taker, if a firm enters a market, if it's a perfect competition, we have no choice in the price. We have to accept the price, no higher, no lower. That's accepted in the market. So price taker is exactly the same as perfect competition. Perfect competition and price taker, those terms go hand in hand. It's just some of the basic terminology throughout, quite often throughout micro econ books, yeah. Okay, so firm kappa is a price taker. The average cost of kappa is going to be that function, yeah. So average cost is that, while its marginal cost is going to be this. Suppose firm kappa is producing Q equals 10 units of output at this quantity firm kappa. Does the firm have economies or diseconomies of scale? Yeah. So with these, we can literally just go ahead and plug in. Yeah, we have AC of 10. Yeah, we have MC of 10 equals 40. AC, yeah, less than MC. Therefore, yeah, diseconomies of scale. Yeah, so we're just plugging in and we show the fact that the AC is less than the MC, therefore we must be demonstrating diseconomies of scale. That's just the first two. There's 15 problems. We continue on in a minute here with number 3.